The nun, Sister Eileen, the sexual pedophile who started abusing me when I was 15, was clearly 36 and had taken the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. She stole from my body, my mind, and my soul. The woman was a thief who did not keep her vows.
It's you?
No, that's her. Sister Eileen Shaw, in my apartment.
Why is your principal and nun in your apartment?
On my bed. That was my bed.
This is a medal that has the date of her vows. She would take it off of herself at night and put it on me, and then we would have sex, not a relationship, sex. And then in the morning, it would go back on her. It was the seal of confessional or the seal of silence. It worked. I was silent for how many years?
Every Sunday to church. I went to Catholic school. You know, nuns were my teachers from kindergarten on. So now I was accepted into Paramus Catholic, one of the girls' high schools. Sister Eileen, she would pick me up for the middle of the school day, take me to a motel. We'd stay in the hotel for hours, and then she'd bring me back to school. So I was there for dismissal. I mean, really, honestly, and her hand around my waist the way it is, let's be serious. This is not a hello, we're friend picture. Why didn't they stop her? Nobody questions a nun. I mean, a nun. Nobody challenged her. She owned me.
Abuse occurs in the dark. Abuse occurs when there is secrecy. The Catholic Church for years has been shrouded with secrecy. Abuse fosters in that sort of setting. What's fascinating about it is what happens in Camden, New Jersey is what happens in Santa Fe, New Mexico, what happens in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's similar, if not close to identical, in every state in this country and across the world, really.
You asked me if I knew anyone else, and I said, yes, we all do. Well, why are they not coming out? Well, because the boys thought they were the only ones for 100 years. The girls think they're the only ones. They don't have any other survivors to see.
I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. My dad was a good Christian man, very into his church, very involved with his church always. Put all 5 kids through Catholic grade school. We all went to Catholic high schools. 7th grade, I met this nun, Sister Judith Fisher. And I remember I was in one of the front seats, I think 2nd row over, front seat. And she looked right down at me and smiled at me, and I thought, oh, you know, because I felt a little neglected at home. And I was teacher's pet a lot, which I hated, but still it felt good to be special. So she made some joke to me. I forget what it was, but like, we're going to be friends, or we're going to, you know, we're going to do well. And she was this redhead. She was funny. It was a different kind of energy. So we were told this would be our homeroom teacher the next year. And sure enough, it was Sister Judith Fisher. That's when my world changed. I was 13 years old. She was 37, 24 years my senior. You hurt a child that deep, it's a spiritual rape. And you are, like, branded for life. So from now on, it colors everything. This is a necklace that she gave me. It's got my name in cursive. And on the other side, it says 9/19.
She had to do to me was to be nice, because there was nobody that was nice to me. She cared like she wanted to be with me. I was 15. I mean, everything was in my favor. Here I'm hanging out with this really cool 36-year-old full habit nun. Everything was so manipulative. Oh, that's my brother Peter, and that's my sister Kate. And that's down at the Shore House, Sister Eileen Shore House. And I thought it was the kindest thing that she could possibly have done, to include my siblings. I think that's grooming. It was a pacifier for me. It worked very well. She became my mother. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Now, looking back, she became my mother, but mothers don't sleep with their children.
Sister Judith had been getting real close with my mom, who was a substitute teacher and would come and help out in the principal's office. The principal was Sister Ruth. So my mom, she got close to Sister Ruth, and we became like a foursome. They'd come with my mom and watch swim practice from the car, and then we'd go for ice cream. Or we'd go to the ground round, or we'd go to Flaming Pit, or the Leather Bottle, or we were always just like waiting by the phone with the Nuns call. And for the next couple of years, my mom, Sister Ruth, Sister Judith, and I did everything together. My mom didn't know anything that was going on. If we were sleeping in a room with 2 double beds, I'd sleep with my mom, Judy would sleep with Ruth, but Judy and I would arrange to sleep where the aisle was, and we'd hold hands across the cavity while they were sleeping. She always, always described it as God's love. This is
6. If the average age is 51, 53, 55, even by the most liberal statutes of limitation, you're way beyond any opportunity to seek any meaningful relief.
So if mine started at 13, by the time I'm 20, 25, I can't do anything about it. And they can be in another state and get out of that state before that expires. Worst comes to worst, if they get proven, they're defrocked. Poor babies. Then what? They're set up in retirement systems that are wonderful. They play pool. They're usually right next to a schoolyard. And it's been going on for over 300 years. And the Vatican has it all, and it's documented. And they're more powerful than our government. They don't have to open their files. I was one of the few victims that had lots of evidence, years and years of letters, notes, tapes, videos, jewelry, trips, receipts, books, all sorts of things. So I had proof. And what'd she do? She denied it all. And before she was deposed, she up and died. I wished that I could get some answers, that we could talk about it, that she could come clean. It wasn't the money I was after. It was just some closure. I think I feel strong enough to tell my story right now because there's not a lot to lose. I am who I am.
That's what's important about statutory reform. When the statute's bad, the Catholic Church gets to dictate the terms. 2 touches is worth X, and you have to settle ultimately because your case may be thrown out of court. When the abuse survivor holds the power, they can say, I have a story, I've been damaged, and I get to tell it to 12 of my peers who can decide what the Catholic Church did and how I've been damaged.
Are you okay if I read the response to you?
Yes, I'm here for that.
In 1994, the leadership of the Sisters of Charity of St. Elizabeth removed her from ministry and referred the situation to the congregation's response team for investigation. The response team engaged in a detailed investigation and substantiated the sisters' improper conduct. Following the settlement, and for the past 25 years, Sister Eileen Shaw has been subject to a program of restrictions and therapy, including removal from ministry, as well as being unable to work with individuals under 21 years of age. She accepts responsibility for her actions and the harm that they have caused. She continues to pray daily about this.
I don't want her prayers. She took my life, she took my sexuality, she took my spirituality. She ruined any boundaries that I ever had in my life. I lost my family over her. I'm in recovery now. Since 1994, I've been stumbling with this, and she's got lifetime therapy because she's a sexual pervert? There's something wrong with this.
I've spent so much of my life trying to heal, whether it's in art or music or, thinking I can draw, I can't draw. It's just anything to get out of myself. I feel like I'm in a hole. I can see the friggin' blue sky, but I can't get up. I feel like I'm doing that right now with my life. Why does she get to live on the blue sky, the pink cloud, and I'm in the dungeon? I never hurt anybody.